Well, hello, howdy do, kids. Listen, we got a few minutes before old Master Jeff starts his live stream, so let me take this camera out here, because we're going to need it every minute. Now, which one of y'all want to hold my camera? You? Or maybe you? Or how about you? Thank you very much. Now, come on, let's get to work. When I first seen y'all's lobby, I said to myself, Master Bo, I said, this place needs a little sprucing up. So I got to work. Go on now, take a look. Ain't that something? Now, I took me a little look-see in y'all's lost and found. And guess what I did find? No. It's binoculars! But Master Bo, what's the big deal about binoculars? Kids, there is something I carry with me at all times. I don't never leave home without it. Shoe polish! So you just watch old Master Boom getting to work over here. Now, for this little procedure, we will need one practicological type rubber glove. Now let's get to work. Done! Now, come on with me. Time's a-wasting. All right, kids. Thank you very much for the help. Now give me that old camera. Let's get her up here where old Master Jeff, he won't even see the difference. Oh, let's see here. Oh, there we go. All right now. Remember, hark! They here already. All right, I need some place to hide. Somebody got a bowl or something. Or, here, there's Master Jeff's coffee right there. Hand me that cup right there. Come on, give it to me. Oh, got it. Thank you. Got it. Got a little cold coffee in there. That's all right. Let me get it adjusted now. Just right there. Here we go. Oh, that's just good. Oh, gotta hurry. Ain't got much time. Oh, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. You guys, everybody got the uniform on? Oh, yeah. All right. That's gonna work real nice. Sorry. What's that cat doing in here? Now, just remember, kids. Ah! All right. Come on, guys. All right, guys. Let's get ready for live stream. Who got out my coffee cup? Ezra. Please, would you take this to the kitchen? Binoculars.
Daddy, are we doing kicks today?
I don't know, sweetie, maybe.
Flip your belt around.
All right, flip your belt around. Turn on the light, Ezra. And get over here. Turn on our steak. Thank you. Now, quick, make a line right here, guys. All right, you know what? I'm starting the live stream. Anybody not ready? Tough toenails, because here we go.
Are you ready? Because he's ready. It's Master Jeff! Martial arts expert, instructor extraordinaire, and general clown. He's not afraid of coronavirus. He's not afraid of the bad guys. Master Jeff is not afraid of anything.
Ha! Ha! What is up, YouTube? We've got a big live stream in store today.
Dad,
Yes, sir.
we got a phone call.
Oh, a phone call. Probably we should not take this, except it might be a little fun if I put it on speakerphone. So let's see what happens. Hello, this is Master Jeff. What can I do for you?
Howdy do. I think I might have left my binoculars over there. Could you take just a little old look-see around?
I think I've got them right here.
Oh, good. Real good. Now,
Excuse me, but who is this? Hello?
what'd you say?
Who's speaking, please?
This'll be Gertrude Stover. Now, if you could just take
Miss
a little
Stover,
old
your
look-see.
voice sounds strangely familiar. Do we know each other?
Oh, no, you don't know me. No, sirree, Bob. I ain't never met at all.
Okay, well, I've got your binoculars, so come on.
Now, hold on. Would you mind just taking a little old look-see through them binocs? Make sure they still working?
Your binoculars are fine. Just come on over to the dojo. And
Well, now, I'm sure you're right. But you see, thing is, them binoculars, they real special to me.
Special.
Uh-huh. So I just want to make sure
Make sure?
that they're working.
You want to make sure they're working.
Uh-huh. So could you just take a little over look and see through 'em just real quick?
All right.
No, you gotta get right up against them.
I'm up against. Okay, look.
Push them real tight.
I've got your binoculars.
Little baby raccoon. Little baby
Hello?
raccoon. Little baby raccoon.
Boom.
Oh.
I should have known it was you. If I find you. Hello? It looks like we'll be taking 2 minutes for technical difficulties. If I find that guy. Did you guys know? Did anybody have any idea? I mean, the door was locked, right? Let me see what the chat is saying. Master Boom. They tried to tell us. Dude, yeah. Well, trust me, do not get shoe polish on your face. Did I get it all? Can you guys tell?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, before I was so rudely interrupted by Master Butt, Master Boom, what we were going to do was start on form techniques. Yes.
You should right back to them. Thank you that you tell me.
Yeah, thank you. Well, they can hear me right now, and we will not be answering this. Not at all. If this rings, do not answer it. Oh, let me see who that call was from.
But
private number, no doubt.
But Dad, what if it's someone that's really real?
Ooh, yeah, who knows? All right, guys, let's line back up just like we were. Let's get 7 right here. Zoe right there. Actually, we'll line up a little different. Zoe there. Ezra, you're here. Soren, you're right there. Ezra's right there and right there. And you know what? Just to be formal, you guys can see the flags right there in case you don't have any at home. So let's go ahead and bow in. Hayo, Kenet, Parol, Pyoungan. God, thank you very much. God, please help me to have a forgiving soul about him. And please help us to focus on having a good class. In Jesus' name, amen. Let's face the old man. Attention, bow. And of course, our black belts, attention, bow. And so what we're going to do today is break down the moves of each form. So of course, we'll start with basic 1. Shouldn't be but just a second, right? Chumi? So let's just knock out basic 1. And 1. Knees bent, 2. 1, 2. Notice how they're twisting their hips and keeping their knees bent. 1. And then 1, 2, 3. Back turn 1, 2. Now turn this way. 1, 2. 1. That way, sort of good. Now 3 punches. 1, 2, 3. Kia. There we go. 1, 2. 1, 2. And puddle. Show. Okay. So the very first move of the very first form is a down block, right? And just at first glance, you might think, well, you know, a down block stops right here, so you're hitting something that's right there. But if you were going to break a board that was right there, what do we always say? Aim what? Not at the board, but through the board, right? It's the same way with a down block. So it's good to remember to visualize in your forms that you're not hitting something right here. By the time your fist gets here, you're already through it. You're hitting something right here. So it's like a groin shot. If somebody's kicking you low and you're hitting it, bang, and then move it on over to the side. Bang, on over. Bang, on over. So you're hitting here, here, like that. And you're hitting there, there, just like that, right? Okay, then of course you have the punch, and we discussed this the other day, so I'll touch on it just for a second anyway, which is the strongest force is going to be the most inertia possible, meaning everything is moving in one direction. Once you start moving, that takes away from the inertia of whatever the projectile is, a bullet, your fist, whatever. If a bullet shoots out of a gun and for some reason it starts tumbling, it slows down the velocity dramatically and the bullet won't go near as far or hit near as hard as it would have. So with your punch, you want to keep that elbow behind your fist, like that. Now, of course, with the anatomy of your arm, already your forearm is going to raise from this plane to this plane by the time it gets there, right? You're starting here, and by the end you're here or even here. But still, we keep it as straight as possible. We can't avoid that. And we have kind of a mechanical offset, considering it's attached to our arm. But this way, you do have control of. So try to keep that elbow right behind your fist. Do not let your arm come out like this. Then you've got all kind of wobble, and you're really going to take down the velocity of your fist. Okay, then let's go ahead and do basic 2. So same line to me. Here we go with basic 2, and hana. Now you guys imagining hitting here, imagine hitting here, and then cutting on through. 2, 3, and it can still look the same, it's a matter of your visualization. 4, 1, and then here comes our new move, hana, high block, do, set. Good, hana. Turn down block. Do. Set. Net. And then Soren, look at Zoe. Look at Zoe's feet. Good job, Daddy. 1. And then 1, 2, 3. And then backwards turn. 1, 2, 1, 2. Very nice. And puddle. So, of course, obviously, the next new move introduced in Basic 2 is the high block. And like we always talk about, we want to avoid the hamster wheel. We're coming around like the hands of a clock in a circle. Once again, you have your shoulder and the anatomy of your core and your arm. So obviously you can't just do this like a real hand of a clock, right? So it's that's the general motion. But you do want to come from over here, and then even here, you can bend your elbow and snap. Just like when you snap like this, see how my elbow's bending? You can do the same thing going up. You have your elbow bent and then snap right there at the end. So you're here, bend, snap, bend, snap. And you're coming to the side, bend, snap, like that. And then before we move on to Basic 3, let's talk about something that few people look at as a technique, and that is your footwork. Consider how you turn, and consider back when you were a white belt, how difficult it was to learn that back leg turn, right? Everybody wants to get down to here, and then they just want to go this way. That's the quickest route to turning that direction, right? So why in the world do we move our back leg backwards? And there's a very specific reason for that. So let's get a temporary target. Zoe, please, right here. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. No water yet. It's not break time, dude. All right, so we've got Miss Target right here. And let's say her tummy is going this way. If I'm here and I want to do a hammer fist to her tummy and I turn this way, well, my power is going this way when I turn. Then I've got to start all over again and hit her like that, right? But if I saw that I wanted to hit right here, if I move my back leg, now my turn is feeding into that technique that I need to do. Now, indeed, if she were standing here and I just gotten through with a punch, the best turn would be this. Because if I did my back leg turn and my target was here, I would turn and then have to start over and come this way. So the back leg turn in that case would be working against my technique. So the visualization there of the down block following the back leg turn is very important. You must visualize a target that is here, and you want to hit this side of it, right? She's there, and I want to hit that side. That's why I'm going to do my back leg turn and wham, hit that way. That makes sense? That is why the back leg turn is that way. And if you think about it, every turn is that way, even the front leg turns. Let's look at the first 4 moves. So you have a down block and a punch. How many kids do you see just do this? They just twist their feet and down block. Now they got the wrong leg forward. Well, that's not really a bad thing. Once again, it's a matter of where your target is, right? My target is going to be here, facing this way. This time, Zoe would be this way on the front leg turn, and my target is here. So I've just done a down block and a punch. If I just turned comfortably like this, then I'd have to start over and come this way, opposite of the way I turned to get there. However, if I'm right here and I turn my front leg, now, wham, it hits the target right where I want it to. So while I go on the back leg, she was facing this way. The front leg turn, she was facing this way. So consider where your imaginary target is, and that is the direction you would turn, right? Okay, so let's move on to basic 3. To me, Soren, you think you can follow along with basic 3? I'll bet you can. You've been doing a good job, Cowboy. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Just copy 7 or Zoe or Esther. Look at 7. Which leg is forward? And which arm is forward? Good. Now 3 horse stances. 1, 2, 3. Key up. Good. 1. Turn outside block. 2, 1, 2, 1, and then 1, 2, horse stands over. Yes. 3. And hana. Duel. Yes, Zoe, good correction. Hana. Duel. Oh, I saw you get that back stance, Soren. Good job. Paddle. And show. All right, before we even attack the stances, the techniques, the new techniques, let's look at the stances. So why, did somebody just say, all right, we need 3 ways to stand? I don't know, I guess we'll stand like this. Maybe another stance could be like this. No, another stance is like this, and another one's like this. Well, why? Why did they come up with those stances? Have you ever thought of that? So with the front stance, we've got projecting power forward. So as we step in a front stance, we're bending that front knee. That's soon going to become the back knee. And then we're pushing, propelling ourselves forward. Not so with a back stance. A back stance is not really made for forward motion, although in the higher black belt forms, sometimes you do indeed have like a punch in a back stance. Not often though, and I think even that is just made for extreme variety and novelty, if anything. So with the back stance, all of a sudden, the direction we're facing, our weight's on the other leg. With a front stance, I'm facing and my weight is toward my target. With a back stance, my weight is away from my target, which is usually why it's associated with a block. Because we don't want to fully commit, we're standing back from the target. We're standing back from the target on a back stance. Okay, so let's back up a minute. I forget who it was, but be very careful about your down blocks. The position of your other arm is also important. So if I want a nice clean path for my down block, then this arm is now an obstruction. See this arm? It's an obstruction now. I can't get all the way up. So I want this arm out of the way over here like I'm whittling it off, carving it off with a knife. Here, now I can bring this arm fully here, and it's unobstructed all the way to its target of here, and it's followed through to there. If you have your arm here and do your down block like this, now I've got this obstruction in the way. See what I mean? So under and then around. Same thing for your outside block. You're doing your outside block, if I'm blocking with this hand, I don't want it inside this arm. Now I'm left to just do a forward motion. That's not what we're doing. We've got something coming in and we want to T-bone it. We want to hit it from the side. With your arm here, you can't get it out there. So your arm, this is the block, should be this way on the outside. So you guys, whenever you're doing an outside block, make sure you take your blocking arm underneath your armpit and then bring it around the other arm. Underneath your armpit and around the other arm. Good. Sorry, let me see you do it, Ezra. Underneath your armpit and then around your other arm. You guys seeing this? Underneath your armpit and around the other arm. You see you do it 7? Yes, of course. Of course he's got it. It's a 30-degree black belt. And let me see you do it again, Ezra. Get your blocking arm under your armpit and then come around it like this. Yes! Ding, ding, ding. Let me see you do it, Soren. Whoa! Oh, so fast, it almost looked like you pulled through. Okay, and then why the horse stance punch? What's the difference? Well, in a front stance punch, you're punching, you've got some forward momentum, and you've got kind of a locked in place kind of a position. With a horse stance punch, you're more sideways, so it's perhaps more of a defensive punch, plus you can really lunge forward like that with a horse stance punch, and your body's sideways. In my opinion, and I don't know, that's what I think the writers of the form had in mind. Soren, do you think you can follow along with Pyoungan 1, green belt form? All right, to me. Ezra, to Ezra, to Ezra. I think she's got a crush on Master. I can't even say the word. She's got a crush on Master.
No.
All right, Pyoungan 1, here we go. Master him, master. All right, Pyoungan 1, here we go. 1. Visualize now. 2. And here comes our new move in Pyoungan 1. 3. Oh, good, Soren. 4. 7, your moves are looking mighty precise today, Daddy. 1. Down block, slip it around. And then 2. High block, remember, like the hands of a clock. 2. And 3. Punch, Kia. Good. And now everybody skip back just a little bit. And then reach for the sky. 1. Open hand, down block. No, I'm sorry, basic 1. 2. 1. 2. Good, Soren. 1. And then 1. 2. 3. Other hand, Soren. Step 1 more. Good, Soren. Now back leg turn. 1. Good. 2. Oh, nice stance, Ezra. 3. Everybody's got their knees bent today. I love it. 4. And pedal. Very nice. And short. So come on up here, Soren. You guys might notice Mr. Soren here, who is a little dragon. He's got on his cool purple dragon shirt today. He is following along as best he can and doing a bang-up job of it. But it's good that he's here because you see the natural tendency for the way to turn. What he's doing is saying, dude, you know, the best way to get to facing over here is this way. Why are you guys doing all this stuff, right? And if I'm standing right here, why not just go ahead and switch feet? And he's just getting there the best way he knows how. But as he follows along with the senior belts, he will figure it out. But it's good to observe a little dragon because this is what our brains are thinking. And that's what we have to work around and develop them up to the next coordination level, just like this guy is, because he is figuring it out, and he's figuring it out quick. Pound it, dude. Good job. Sit back there. All right, so for Pyoungan 1, our new moves. We have this hammer fist, but it's important to come to terms with what this thing is supposed to do, what it can do, what it can't do, etc. So please, 7, sir. So there are several targets that it could be. I always imagine just bonking somebody on the top of the head, which is, to me, is not going to do anything but irritate somebody. So then I went to imagining hitting like a collarbone. Now hitting a collarbone straight down like that is going to give you some pain because your collarbone is set right there against your scapula and your sternum. It's like a breaking board set up there for a break, except really it's the direction you would hit it is like this, in this angle. And in fact, in several forms, you have downward 45-degree angle elbows, which will do a number on those collarbones. So one thing you can do is consider, instead of your target down, bend your elbow a little bit like your target is slightly forward or 45 degrees. So like if 7 were hammer fisting my collarbone, instead of coming straight down, he could make it 45 degrees like that. Now with somebody as big as me, it looks like he's still pretty straight. He's still on his way down like that. If I were hitting him, then I would need to be down a little bit. Don't worry, it's not going to hurt you. Again, right there. So then your hammer fist could even end right there if you wanted it to. But these are important things to consider as we do this technique. Then with this technique, you also want to make sure it's got some salsa. Thank you, 7. It's got some salsa on it. And if you're doing the technique like this, well, I hope you've been to Gold's Gym and you've been doing all your weights because all you've got is muscle. If, on the other hand, you swing your body to get your arm going this way, then you swing your body to get it going that way. And look, if I turn this way, my arm goes over there. If I turn this way, my arm goes over there. So all I need to do is keep it down on the first one and keep it up on the second one, and you've got a double whiplash kind of a twist for that hammer fist. So we down block, another good reason to fully commit, because then look at all the hip rotation I've got. 1. Then right as it reaches here, you twist the other way, 2. So you've got a double opportunity, zing, zing, to really put some mustard on that hammer fist. So down block, twist, twist. You guys seeing that? Right? Down block, twist, twist. And really put some power. But at high speed, it's got to be twist, twist, really fast. Twist, twist, really, really fast. And then, of course, you have your middle block. Once again, you think, oh, well, I'm hitting something here. No, I'm hitting something here. Not the case. You're hitting something here. Because in an ideal world, the person hitting at you is going to be doing the same thing you are, which is aiming at the center line. So I'm hitting here, and then I'm moving across. So down block, smack, follow through. Middle block, smack, follow through. Like that. Ta-ta, ta-ta. Which is why when we do an inside block, we don't stop here. We still get hit by whatever's coming at us. We hit here and then follow through to there. So it ends up at the same place an outside block would over here. So if my outside left ends here, my inside right ends the same place. Outside left, inside right. Outside left, inside right. You getting that, Fernando? For your Basai form, when you do all those inside blocks, this is how it should be, Bone Daddy. And Fernando was here. Didn't I see his name up there? Why is there an odd number of basics and Pyoungans? Good question, Lila. What do you get when you add an odd number and an odd number every time? A what?
Period.
Comes even.
Even number.
Even number. Ding, 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 daddy. So you have an even number of that whole set, which is the basics and Pyoungans. Basics and Pyoungans go together, and it just so happens there are 8. White, yellow, orange, green, purple, blue, red, red, red. There are 9 degrees, but only 8 forms. How did that happen? So then why do you have to use Basai for the last one? How does that work? There are only 8 Paul guys. There are only 8 Tagoks, which are parallel styles to ours. And I'm not going to sit and wait for the 20-second delay to see if you guys know the answer. I will tell you, because you are a white belt when you enter the dojo. You do not have to test for a white belt. You start testing at yellow. So really, really basic 1 is for yellow belt. Really basic 2 is for orange belt, etc. up to Pyoungan 5 being for 3rd red. Did you know that? So why then do we at this school have to do basic 1 to get our white belt? You guys listen now, because you should know this. One day you're going to be wondering, why in the heck? Used to, Master Waserza would not even give you, she wouldn't allow you to buy a uniform. She wouldn't sell you a uniform, which came with a white belt, until you had learned your basic 1. And after you learned your basic 1, she'd say, okay, now you can go buy a white belt if you want to. So we wanted to kind of do the same thing, but we also wanted to give a uniform free if people signed up, just kind of for an incentive. Because if you have a dojo, the inevitable mix of business and martial arts must happen, or there are no mats, walls, mirrors, and lights and electricity with which to train. So we said, okay, we'll give the uniform, but we'll make them work for their white belt. So we go ahead and make you work for the white belt, and then we bump it on up to basic 2 for your yellow instead of for your orange. And that's where Basai comes in handy. And actually that happens a lot. Basai is sometimes a red belt form and sometimes a black belt form. Interesting, huh? All right, on to Pyoungan 2. Let's try Pyoungan 2. Soren, you think you can follow Pyoungan 2? All right. This is one tenacious little dragon right here. Wait, is that a real blue clicker? No. Okay, never mind. We use basic 1 for white belt instead of other schools. Why would we do basic 1 for another school? Just kidding. David, yeah, Master John told us. Okay, very good. Very good. All right. So Pyoungan 2, Jimmy. Excuse me, sir. I am too. Water break is in exactly 12 minutes, okay? So wait 12 minutes. Here we go. Hana! Pyoungan 2. No, drop guard cut. Good job, Sorenberg. 3, pull back punch. 1, 2, drop guard cut. 3, pull back punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Spring key up. And everybody scooch back a little bit. And then 1, turn middle block. 2, 45 degrees. 3, 4. Hana, punch block. Duel. Oh, very nice, black belts and red belt 2 and dragon. 3, 4, T block. And Hana. Duel. Set. Net. Very nice. Pedal. Show. Very good. All right, I'll throw a little Pyoungan 2 trivia your way for that first move, which is really kind of a cool move. Let's see here. Ezra, would you please hold this target right here? It's going to be a target today, so hold it right there like this. There we go. So yeah, right there. So you could be blocking this way, and then guarding and punching, which is kind of where our school went. You could also be parrying this, letting it go by, and then coming here to break the arm in half. So if Ezra were punching with her left hand, like this, then I'd be chambering and then going kapow, and I'd be snapping her arm backwards. So instead of this technique coming this way, it would be coming this way. So it'd be block and then this way. And you end up in a similar position, right? Isn't that interesting? So that's one of the things, that's one of the alternative ways you can think of Pyoungan too. Thank you very much. Ezra, is your elbow okay? Good. So keep that in mind. Even practice it if you like. In the meantime, we do a clogged face high block and a tabletop outside block. So your outside block goes just exactly like basic 3. It comes around this way. Your high block, meanwhile, is getting out of the way, coming this way. And if you want even more chamber, go here like you know you're going to be, then just lower this arm a little, start your high block. When it gets to here, start your middle block, kaboom. And then you have your choice. You can chamber, guard, uppercut, or you can chamber, hammer fist, and snap their arm in half, and you end up looking almost the exact same when you're done. Yes. I said what?
Kaboom.
Don't say that word again, Dojo. And then, of course, we've got the step back punch. Just keep in mind, folks, this is a straight ahead punch, not a hammer fist. So after we've done our 1, 2, 3, we pull this way with this arm so that it shoots straight ahead, and we always keep that elbow right behind the fist, not like this. Like that. So 1, cha-cha, and then like that. And then we've got our side kick ready. Good Lordy mercy. And Soren, good attempt at a side kick ready. But what am I going to say, you people who are over green belt? What is wrong with this side kick ready? I've got the African tea tree stance. Nothing wrong with the, actually it's Ethiopian. Nothing wrong with the Ethiopian tea tree stance, but it's not a side kick stance. Bend your knee. So from the side, I'm bending my knee. Bending my knee like that. Here's a good way to think of it. Feet together, then put them apart like duck feet. Now bend your knees. You look like you're in the Nutcracker Suite, right? Bend them and leave them bent. Now put one foot inside. That's a side kick ready. And then the side kick. And we are off and running on Pyoungan 2. Let's do one more. Pyoungan 3, guys, to me. Can you follow along, Soren? Last one. Ha! Ooh, did you see that? Everybody came around the outside with their outside blocks. I love it. Do. Choppy, choppy, choppy. Set. And 7 right there. Make sure that right arm is going on the outside of your left. Other way. Yes. Net. Choppy, choppy, choppy. Good, Soren. 1. Here's the one we're going to talk about. 1. 2. Nice. Ezra. Very nice. Ezra, go. Kick, elbow, hammer, in. Good, Ezra. And then pull it in. And black belts go. Soren, go. Good job, buddy. 2. Soren's over there hanging with it. 3. 4. And slow burn to a horsey stance. Do. Set. And paddle. Show. So this thing tracking down the middle where you're on your railroad tracks. Really cool technique. Once again, we have the whole turning the way your target's going to be so you think in advance. You're moving forward, but your target is not that side, but this side of whoever's there. So your target would be, excuse me, my dear, your target would be not here, but here. So I've just done this, I spear hand, and then I turn, kaboom, there's my target. Now, of course, I had Zoe stand this way to make it obvious. She could be standing facing this way, but my target could be here, which in fact is the case. You're going for this occipital bone right there on that turnaround hammer fist. Thank you. Brother! So as you're doing that turnaround hammer fist on Pyoungan 3, visualize a target, dude. You can be going for the jaw, the mandible right there. You can also be going for the occipital bone, which is this thin bit of bone. Get your anatomical skeleton out sometime. This piece of bone right here is not connected to your skull. It's like a little post. And with a skull, you can stick your finger right here, right out the eye. You can carry around the skull like that. And that occipital bone is pretty easy to break. I think there is actually an ocular cone kind of a thing inside your eye. But in the absence of that, you could just stick your thumb right through. So this occipital bone is very easy to break. And if you do break it, your eye can actually fall out because it's this firm skeletal structure that gives your eye a place in which to roll around. If it's broken, it can fall out. And this has happened to one of Shin's students at a tournament, one of these full contact things, which is why I'm glad I'm out of that stuff. Somebody caught a turnaround hook kick. Broke the occipital bone, and the guy's eye just, it didn't hang out by the thread or anything, but it just drooped out to right there. It was pretty disgusting. So that turnaround on Pyoungan 3 will work with the occipital bone target. And just keep that kind of thing in mind if you're ever actually in a fight. That kind of thing can happen. Gregory, oh, hi, Gregory. What up, dude? All right, you kids gather on around. We've only got like 3 minutes left. So let's say hello to everybody. And let's see who all we have here today. They're the Leon brothers, surprise, surprise. And Lila is here. Nicholas is here, surprise, surprise. Mr. Drusino, as usual. And who else? The Spanglers. Gregory. Ooh, Gregory is watching Big Class. Gregory's doing a live stream at Big Class. Very impressive. Who else do we have in here? Oh, Wahoo Cobra is here. You guys know who that is, don't you? Mr. Caleb of the Nunchakus, and he will be getting some new Nunchakus here very soon. And, apparently Caleb really liked the way Master got on my nerves again. Okay, then we have El Slicky, who is, of course, the Carballosa folks. Oh, just the girls today. Febe and Valeria are here today. Very good. Who else do we have? There's Mr. Drusino again. Oh, yeah, and Julia. No surprise there either. Julia dropped by my 8 o'clock workout class this morning, which was really fun. And I love it when you guys come to my 8 o'clock classes because it holds me accountable. You know, the temptation is always there. I'm in the dojo. I am by myself. Nobody's watching. Seven's not there. Chicago's not there. Nobody's there. So who's going to know if I do my push-ups like this? And maybe I lack that much before I touch the ground. No way. Not in front of my students, not in front of my training buddies, my dojo family. I'm going all the way down, bro. And I'm going hard as I can. So I really appreciate you guys being there, holding one another accountable with me. Who else do we have in here? I think that looks like it says 14 people, but I can't see anybody else. Oh, yeah! Rodriguez Fernando is here. Yeah, Fernando is. What? Ain't no ghost boy. Don't you call me. Is that on our account?
You wrote that.
Ha ha. I didn't write that.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. This looks. I can't. Look at the way they spell it. Ain't no ghost boy. Don't you. Who was typing on my
That
account?
sounds like
Hi, Fernando. Good to met you, Fernando. What? Now use common sense. And he spells sense, S-I-N-C-E. I'm magic. Don't you know? But it didn't say nothing though. What? Somebody's been on my account.
Maybe
It looks like early,
Boom.
almost.
It's Boom. Oh, it's Mr. Boom.
Well, no surprise there. All right, how's he getting in? How is he getting in here? That's the thing. Oh, wait, he mentioned magic. Yeah, I'll bet he's magic. Whatever. Yeah, nobody's magic. There's no magic. All right, guys, we better get out of here. But remember, we have a follow-up Zoom class right after this, so I can look at you guys' techniques, or you can ask questions. We can just generally chill out. Don't worry, buddy. Soren's worried because I had the YouTube page open instead of our OBS screen. The OBS screen is real time. YouTube's like 20 seconds behind. So it's like, Master Boom did it. Oh, Gregory. Thank you, Gregory. Master Boom did do it. Gregory saw him. And Matias Bravo. What's up, Matias? Put it right there, dude. Very cool. All right. David Leon. Yes, he said it also. It was Master Boom. All right. So, okay. We're going to have to do something. I'm going to leave him a note. Maybe he and I can just have a talk. Maybe meet up sometime and just try to come to some kind of cruise, some kind of, what do you call those things? Truce, some kind of a truce. Maybe let him do his own live stream so he'll stay out of my hair. He'll stop messing up the Fun Day box and putting shoe polish all over a random pair of binoculars. I wonder why there were binoculars out. All right, guys, we are going to get out of here, but hopefully we'll see you at 5 on Zoom. See you later!
This has been a self-made Taekwondo live stream with Master Jeff. Avoid practicing the techniques you learn in live stream with Master Jeff. Drunk, stoned, sloshed, tipsy, buzzed, blotto, slammed, plowed, jolly, play-eyed, hammered, wasted, inebriated, or otherwise intoxicated. Watching live stream with Master Jeff, you acknowledge the possibility of and waive all liability for hematoma, laceration, occipital fracture, broken nose, acute mandibular dislocation, strained wrist, hyperextended elbow, broken ribs, bruising, or bleeding, tear, sprains, fractures, dislocated shoulder, or concussion. All rights reserved. Unauthorized presentation and publication strictly prohibited.